Go live. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Howdy members. How's everyone doing, guys?
Narishab, Lena.
I know, Lina Kimunati. It's the first time we're doing this proper again. Last we did it, but then now I'm just opening it up so that people can see. Levona.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I'm gonna start the show on this side.
How does it work
Welcome.
on TikTok?
How does it work on TikTok?
Yeah.
I invite you in. So just tell me if you're on TikTok, then I'll send you an invite and you can join. Like you can jump on
Okay.
to be on the show by voice.
Okay. We'll see. Let's go on TikTok then.
Okay, let me start the show. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. This is the members show. My name is George Mukwena. I'm your host. This show is on every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon. And then also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. Today, Kitty members. So I've got my members live on another app. And we're going to be having a discussion about whatever they feel like today we're speaking about. If you do want to join and you do want to add your voice, currently you can't comment, you can't add your voice unless you're a member, and that means heading on over to YouTube and joining one of the memberships. Cheapest one is 20 Rand. Then you'll get a link to the WhatsApp group, and also you'll get added to the members list, and we'll have our show. So guys, I don't know if anybody has a topic that you'd like to discuss.
Yeah, man, I would like to know what happened to the decision 11 November. Are you watching Sundowns or relegation battle?
Why do you call it a relegation battle? Hey, Mara. Hey, Mara. Guys, it's free form. You can jump in whenever. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it, eh? They're still, last I heard, they were still discussing it.
Oh, okay.
Guys, are you guys fine with being called the relegation battles here, Babang?
You know, it's at this point, icon. It's a relegation battle for it is a relegation battle. Because what are we doing at the bottom? What are we doing, icon?
Marakere, Luna, you had games in hand.
Exactly, that's what I'm asking. We have games in hand. GGG, we are playing. We are losing to Cape Town Spurs. So basically, we are also fighting relegation. Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Sure. Greetings, guys.
Hey.
Sure. Yeah. No, I've heard now they're moving the ELF game to Sunday, but there's still rumors. Apparently, it's gonna be on Sunday afternoon, and then the relegation battle will happen on Saturday. Then.
I told you guys that there's an important match and there's the other one. There's an important match.
But guys, is it fair that you must overrule the 57 people who support Sundowns? They must go watch their game. We'll watch our teams.
I get it. They want the relegation battle to be a curtain raiser. So they start with the curtain raiser. Then the main event will be on Sunday, whereby there's 76 million at stake. So we start with the curtain raiser.
We're gonna see that curtain raiser, or if it's a curtain raiser or not. Currently, this AFL game is over curtain raiser. I don't know what the stadium's gonna look like if we're not there, if we're not helping.
And the other thing, Happy, you know how those Sochi clubs uncivilized. Every one of them loses, they're gonna come over to Loftus and mess things up again. Remember what happened to Barretts when they lost 6-0? So imagine if they lose to Chiefs, what's gonna happen? They're gonna come and disturb and destroy everything because we're playing in the most prestigious tournament. So they're gonna, it's gonna be hectic for them.
It's gonna be sad for both us and Wenger sitting in an empty stadium. It's gonna be so sad, man.
Kaya this weekend there. Kaya. It won't be
Yeah. Akira, then it's only 56 of you guys.
no, it's fine. Then 58.
And
Because
and our drums there, and our drums. So the noise will make up the numbers.
No, guys, that's what I've heard. I don't know what it's going to be. We'll have to just see whether they're going to move that game to Sunday. But I mean, the AFL was going to be the easier game to move. That's just how it is because you guys decide the time.
And
Yeah.
being fair, ne? We're already asking too much of PSL or Talohang.
Mm.
They've already been accommodative to us, so we can't expect them to accommodate us at this game regardless of what we're doing. Even if it was TS Galaxy Super Sport. Like we have to be fair and fair in any way. So for us to come in demand, that's bully mentality.
Mara, I don't know. Let me hear if the guys on TikTok are with me. Agent, are you with me there on TikTok?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just listening to the guys. I'm actually finishing doing something real quick. I'll be joining the discussion.
Okay. Let me go to Streets. Are you listening to these talks, man? But it's Soweto Derby is a relegation battle.
It's true though. It's as sad as it is. It's true, Mr. OC.
Guys, literally Derby, Nina, man. AFL is not bigger than the Derby, guys. I'm sorry, not in SA. The rumor is that it's going to be moved to Sunday, the AFL game.
It makes sense. I don't think people are gonna go to that game. Who is gonna watch them?
But guys, I want to bring up a topic. We spoke. I was speaking with friends, and we we're speaking about creativity in football. Is there still a space for creativity in football in terms of also having stars, like having star players, maybe allowing your number 10 oiling star to just, do whatever they want on the pitch and then everybody defends for them? Do we think that there's still a space for that type of thing in our football right now? In football?
Okay, I'll go first then, since no one is cut. For me, I don't think it's viable because if that number 10 gets injured, what happens? Because then everything goes through that person. So when that person is injured, the team has no plan B, and then that's where managers get the sack because then they are so reliant on one player. And now I feel like a system. You see how Pep has a system that even if De Bruyne is out, the team can still function without him. So if then De Bruyne is the guy that has to do everything goes through him. Now that he's injured, there's no continuity. The team suffers. So I think it makes sense.
But does it really make sense, Kumo? Does it make sense to not have any stars? I mean, people were winning before with stars. Evan Kumo, are you with me?
Quick question. Creativity in terms of.
Sorry, Can you hear me?
Okay.
Let me let Agent speak and then you can jump in, Kum.
Okay, sure.
Agent, are you on with me? You can just come closer to your phone.
Yeah, I was asking creativity in terms of being less flexible technically, or you mean in terms of Fagelo Shugela or what?
Like Ushugela, like let's say the number, you know how each team used to have a star, and there were certain things you'd allow for those stars. Like you'd allow them, good time, you know what? Don't defend, you don't come back, we'll cover you. We're not just going to do your magic up front. Is there space for that type of thing in our football these days?
I think there is space. The problem is now this is no longer about pride. It's all about winning. So the question is, with that skill that you're doing, are you eliminating players? Are you doing something creative? And does it benefit the team? Or you're just doing it to please the crowd? I think that's where it becomes a bit of a distraction. Where it slows down the game. I remember there was a time Anthony did a 360-10, and that's not effective. But after doing the 360-10, he kind of made a useful pass. I think we can allow that. And I think South Africans are similar to the Brazilians. The Brazilians still have that flair in the game, but they used to eliminate players. Look at Ronaldinho, Neymar, Vinicius Junior. Do all those things for eliminating. Don't be Skoma Samantaria, and the ball and doing stuff like that and not move the team forward. So yeah, I think it can be allowed in the game, just for it to be more useful.
Kumbo, how about the number 10, man?
How about the number 10, man?
Kaizer, can you please add me on TikTok or
Okay.
it's confusing.
Can you please add me on TikTok or
Let me add you. I'll add you on TikTok right now. Let me do this. I'm going to send invitations. The only problem is that we're limited to 4 on TikTok, but we can have the convo. Let me see.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
How's it? My bro, first of all, football is entertainment, right?
Yeah.
And Messi, Ronaldo, they used to be crowd pullers, and then like for La Liga, in fact, ever since those two superstars left, honestly, I don't really watch World Clasico as much as I did before because I knew there was a rival between those two. Even the league, I want to go, okay, fine, was I'm above Vinicius to make it alive, but it sucks for me. Honestly, I'm not entertained. Coming back home, we used to have Dr. Kumalo, Bushus Mugwena. We knew like it was entertaining. They were entertaining. That was like our main source of entertainment. I understand what agent is saying. We should show like we should do those skills for effectiveness. Mara, what I've noticed during these years, people are trying to Europeanize our football. Rightly so, Ronaldo, Brazil and Flan, everything. But never skill. It draws in the crowd. Like we like to say ooh and stuff. So and happy football essentially is how to express yourself creatively. So if you're gonna deny me that, go on and you play man, it's like robots or just scoring and passing. It gets boring. Maybe that is why happy the unders many fans at the stadium. So I feel we should be allowed, the players should be allowed to express themselves by entertaining us, by being effective and remaining true to our sense, which is the flair that everyone go feel his games. Okay, granted, go feel his game, it's hyperbolic, meaning by exaggerate, by overuse, it doesn't make sense, but they're having fun after all.
Guys, it's open. Guys, the guys on the rest of the panel, you don't have to stay on mute, guys. We can all speak. Theo, Mina man, I wanna watch fun football, man. Football. Let me not say reckless. Let me say football with personality. Labantu abasena personality, man, groundini, man.
Yeah, Bora, I've been listening to the guys about agent in no streets and also Kumo now. We are getting into an era where European football is gonna dominate every kind of football. Like you go to Northern America, you come to Africa, they are trying to modernize us or like to I can make an example with Neymar. I remember one time Ronaldinho told me, I think there's another star that is upcoming from Brazil, and actually he was meaning Neymar. I remember in the Ballon d'Or, in the thing about Ballon d'Or, like there's this move that Neymar did from the center. I think he left about 8 or 7 players, and then Masekmela Korewa missed and they selected him there. Then Barcelona took him because I remember Madrid wanted him and all of that. Got to Barcelona, the guy shut down in Spanish league by his skills. They even had to tell him, they even had to force this thing, if you do a skill that is unnecessary, I don't know what is that, they give him a card, you understand? Because defenders were complaining, he's making a mockery of them. But the point is, was he carrying the ball in his hand? No, he was carrying the ball in his feet. But because he was not doing what they wanted him to do, hence that's why when he got to I wanted to be honest with you, well, I think Neymar is one of the players that was supposed to win the Ballon d'Or, guys. I know other guys are gonna say different things, but Neymar deserved the Ballon d'Or. Neymar was a Ronaldinho times 2, guys. Neymar, creativity, scoring goals, like incredible goals, man. Like individual brilliance, skill. Like that guy had flair. He had everything. I remember even when Messi got to him in that PSG. Neymar, he wanted the number 10. Okay, Neymar wanted to give him the number 10, but Messi said, no, I can't take that number 10, brother. You are a star of this team. But simply because modern football is trying so much to change our way of playing. I mean, guys, like Bexele, I remember I think Street once talked about this thing, man. I think we were playing against Pirates where he did that skill and people, why is he doing that skill? He should be guys. That's why he will never love our football anymore. Like I was watching Prasten, like in the past few days. There's this guy Prof Banban. Prof is very clear with me wherever team was. He made it clear, Gucci, if he was going to play against a certain team, they knew, Gucci, most defenders, they would say, Melesim Cap, because he's going to make a mockery of us and he's going to treat us. That's what football is all about. But now, because they've modernized us, especially in the Premier League, they've killed our football, to be honest.
I want to go to Streets. Maybe let's do this, Streets. Maybe let's not say dribbling. I think we're getting away from it when we say dribbling and people don't understand. I mean, if you look at football 20 years ago, let's say, or 20, 15 years ago, whatever, you had Abo Andre on one side, you had Abo Van Nistelrooy, Abo Ronaldinho, you had Abo Zidane, like you had personalities on the pitch, and not necessarily personalities in terms of like guys that are dribbling or whatever. Nama defender, Tony Adams had a personality. They could solve problems on the pitch. They didn't need to hear from the coach. Why is it good now? Are we calling this modern football better now because these guys aren't doing those things and it seems as though it's more of a, it's more of everybody does the same thing type of thing? Hey, Streets network. Agent, did you hear that question? Can you jump in? While Streets network is coming back up.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question. Do we mean like being technically less flexible? Like, can we still have those players playing a free role kind of player? How can I say this? It's difficult, because now you don't play tactics, you play schemes,
Yeah.
Everyone has to be at some point in some field, we now know that when there's a goal kick, we know OAB is there, we know Omudao pushes up, pushes wide, and we know who else pushes the other side. So it's like now it's like a jigsaw puzzle, for it to work together. Every piece must be in its place. So I think it's difficult now, and I think it kind of restricts a player, like Uzwani. Imagine Uzwani playing a free role, he would be a more dangerous Uzwani. But to what effect? I think Ukumo asked the question then, was it Kumo or Streets, one of them? That then what if Uzwani gets injured? That person was making us tick, then the system falls apart. Hence now we have individual parts, so that even if one part is missing, the machine can still go to a certain extent. So yeah, I don't think.
But then wasn't it a jigsaw puzzle when we were watching football? Like I understood that Ronaldinho we had Rebula, so we needed to get somebody who was a little bit more defensive to stand behind him, for example. Like, how come we don't have that? And how much is this thing of I know that agent is a 10 out of 10 dribbler, for example, ne? But instead of creating a system where you can be a 10 out of 10 dribbler, I create a system where you are a 6 out of 10 tackler. You get what I mean? Now it's also part of your job. How much of that is ruining football? Guys, I don't want I don't want specialists, or I don't want people who are really good at this other thing. A defender must be able to trap the ball and be comfortable and pass out. A goalkeeper mustn't just make saves, he must also, like all of these things. Is that not lessening some of the quality in football, or quality in players?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, because you are basically asking me, is using a heater, I mean this, to the LGBTQ community.
Oh,
I'm not being, I'm just using it generally, just saying.
this come cancel day one, guys, study member show.
Just saying, guys, that I'm saying, because now we don't chop firewood and burn water outside. We are less masculine, we are not men enough nowadays, because now we heat the water with a geyser,
No. I'm saying, do you make toaster iron because it makes things hot, or do you go to a toaster? You know what I mean?
No, because I think now the thing is, like I said, now the game is highly tactical. Look at Sanders. I think Sanders is a perfect example. If Sanders gets a red card, you won't notice that it has a red card. Because almost all the players can play 2-3 positions at the same time. So now it's a contingency, that guys, if we are short, then we know 2-3 players can cover that position, so we're as good as 11. So it's more of tactics. That tactics have evolved, so we have evolved also. I think yeah.
Okay, no, but
Like,
Kumo, Theo, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Is that streets? Wait. Who's talking now? The streets?
no, it's me, Theo.
Oh, Theo, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, I get the idea, and I feel as though it's like Sakumulu Pep when he came with the tiki taka, and he played tiki taka because the environment as a Barcelona was built around something similar to tiki taka. So when he could play tiki taka, he played it. But then Tina uboni tiki taka elokshin. And Tina Asila's tiki taka. So when I watch you play tiki taka elokshin, it doesn't make sense because the players aren't technically gifted enough, or we didn't grow up with that thing, so it looks a little bit off. But then abafuni ukuthi sebenzise ama-strengths wethu.
Yes, like they've been very, very smart, these guys, and most people, they wouldn't wanna just see it in the product sense. I can make an example, guys. If you're a Pirate supporter, there's a guy called Thabo Rakgale. Los Dlile manje wabe sodlala le Botswana Sea Chiefs. Thabo Rakgale, guys, there's something that he used to do that's why I'm sorry, I'm not shooting any shot, guys. That's why Sundowns, there will always be 56, 57 fans, because there's no skill in their games. You go to Chiefs in fact, they know Gutum once he gets the ball, he's gonna do something crazy. You understand? You go to Pirates, they are showing some flair. You understand? It's not that we're saying it's killing South African football, but what I'm saying is, what does it say about our identity? Kaizer was watching Uskwama. Uskwama problem was Uskwama was just in Mutunjo odlele nje ukuzoqhosha kuphela. You understand? I remember when they brought him even Baroka. Bennett Parker, instead of him running forward, he turns around, and these guys are losing, mind you. So in that sense, I would say it's stupid. But the thing that I want to say is, like, I don't have a problem with a team that is playing good football, guys. The Sundowns at the moment, they are playing their tiki-taka, it's nice, but it lacks South African identity. That's the problem. Uzwane tried it in this game. They were playing against the Petre, I think that game. There's the one that he turned in the middle, like the way he turned, a lot of people were like, wow. And even Nama was like, okay, Zwane, we see you. But the thing is, there are certain games where you just need to, like for an example, Sundowns could be winning 4-0. Someone goes in the corner, I'm to take it ball, make the crowd say, like the reason why it used to be South African football and people used to go crazy over it. It's because it used to attract fans, it used to attract foreign people to say, what are they doing? But now they've modernized us to a sense whereby whatever they are doing, hence that's killing our South African football. Our identity is dying.
I wanna go to Streets. Streets, is your network fine? Because I want you to jump in on this one. As somebody who's an advocate for modern football.
Yeah, I think it's fine now.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have a problem with dribbling per se, right? Because if you look, okay, let me talk about Man City. Do you see Man City signed with Doc? Doc is he dribbles to eliminate. He doesn't just dribble, just dribbling. Saka, he dribbles to eliminate. Martinelli, same thing. So it's not that they are being limited. It's just that you must know when to do it and when not to do it. There are moments
Okay.
where you don't have to, but then a player who just wants to like Umasibuseko Zongo, whenever he gets to him, even though a cross is available, he wants to do a skill. Like, come on, you are killing the team. Let's say it's a counter attack. You see here, Ekas, they like this thing. Maybe you're about to hit a counter attack. Like, it's annoying. Like, come on, guy. The chance is open when you want to do skills. You see, you must have a moment where you do this thing, not just do it. Because even if a team can have a system, you still need those creative players who can do magical things. So it's not like the game has totally gotten rid of them, just knowing when and when not to do it.
But Streets, like for me, let me ask Streets, you are winning 3-0 or 4-0 in the game. There's 10 minutes left on the field. And you know, Guti, you have a guy like Abo Squama in the bench. You know, you are winning already. As a Sundowns, you have that's why I don't want to say someone who dribbles. But I would say someone who has tricks on the backs, you understand? About Ronaldo used to do these things. Messi, okay, not that much. But Ronaldinho, you remember, there was this one where he put the ball on the back, you understand? Those things. If you are winning, is that harmful for you to say, okay, let me put in this boy, you know, and you remember, guys, man, when he did that thing, he did speed going back, and then he rolled with the ball, and then he passes. Your team is winning. Is that affecting anything if you are doing that?
It doesn't affect anything, Mara. It's karma, because if when it's down to you, you're not gonna like that. Like you don't like the person doing that on the ball. Like it's just annoying. That's why so it's not that it's not that it's bad, but like you're infuriating the opponent. That's why sometimes so it's not bad, Mara. It's not good to the other person that you are playing against. I would say that.
Can I just bring in?
That's the point, bro.
Can I just bring in Kumo? Kumo, he hasn't said anything.
Okay.
Agent, I'm gonna come to you. Let me just.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Utsirina Sundance people, they always accuse us of something every day. No, like, since when is Sundance killing our style of play? If anything, Kirina that have more flair than anyone else, mu PSL. I mean, like, how many times do people say Sundance plays attractive football? Tegitaga, Shushan and piano. How many kids, when they play in the streets, but I want to be like Tembers one, I'm Sirino. Because why? They've got skills. So when obviously Chiefs over how they have to have skills, see, leader because like you have nothing else to cheer for. I already go, Lu. I already capo. So if more to respect to battle smile, ne? But on the other thing, ne? Let me give you an example, Liverpool, right? Trent Alexander is a big name player by Style is people always say, "Oh, this guy can defend." As a Liverpool fan, I concur. Maringa said admit to other people. Mara, what he brings to the game, he knows how to pass. He can get you a goal. He's much more creative than most other midfielders I know. And not only that, with Liverpool happy, they've got players that complement him. Shifa or Kamo left back, that's where Andy Robertson, right? They can switch the ball of play with one cross. That's where happy for Atiki, that's where Diaz, that's where Salah, and Opala Gray, and right now it's where Nunes. The past high, the sharp. So I don't believe we don't longer have personalities more bowling in this modern football because the Shifa or a Nagabu Liverpool or a thing and a Liverpool Sundowns over there. Or you can build a team again based on one player. They build a team around Alexander hence while deputy captain and he's young. Or he's got the philosophy and the style of Liverpool going forward. Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Agent, you wanted to say something?
I think maybe we should all be on the WhatsApp call, eh? Because I think it allows more interaction, eh? The TikTok thing. Because I always see other shows where there's more than 4 people on it.
Yeah,
And
the
we,
mobile app. The mobile app doesn't allow. Mobile app allows for more, but then the laptop app that does
oh,
all the other stuff that I have here, that only allows 4 at a time. So what I'll do is that I'll just start the call again on that side,
yeah,
and
I
then
think it's
yeah,
best. Yeah,
we can
I
add
think it's best
voices.
on all that side. Yeah, and the point that I wanted to say to on what Street was saying was, I think guys, like I was saying, it's not nice, to this is a it's a beautiful game. It's a gentleman's game. We don't want to embarrass you.
Uh,
Some of the skills are just embarrassing. They just degrade you. So it's win the game fair, man. Yeah, you don't have to show it. I remember there was a game against Ajax beating Sundowns. Those boys were embarrassing us without. They're just passing. Just chasing the ball.
yeah.
Not doing those things. So yeah, I think it's kind of degrading some of those skills. Yeah.
Mara, let's have a degrading. Let's have a degrading, guys. Hi,
No,
guys.
man. Football, it's a game. It's a game of emotions. It's a game of emotions. It's a beautiful game. You must win with integrity, eh? So that after the game, you still feel happy. You can take a breath together. But let me join the WhatsApp call. That's okay.
Let me see. I'm gonna start the call again on this side. But guys, you guys can stay on as well.
I think with TikTok, there's an echo when someone is speaking on TikTok. I mean, on WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp, yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's
and I
fine. Let
think
me see. Okay, I'll also just rotate here. So the guys on the group join me here, and then I'll also just rotate some guys in and out as well, guys, so that we can have them also come in as the guys that are contributing. But yeah, guys. So as I was saying, I think for me, it's just about the personality is gone. And where you see it for me is the coaching. So, for example, when I used to, it was years ago, when I used to coach, you meet these 17-year-old, 18-year-old kids, and there's so many things that they can't do. And in terms of they can't think for themselves on the pitch, they're always looking at you to try and tell them where to go and do whatever. I'm from a time where we used to solve problems on the pitch. Yes, the coach gives you a lineup, he gives you what position you're meant to play and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, if I'm on the pitch and I see something, I fix it. And I feel nowadays, with players nowadays, it's become so manager centric and so system centric that people don't know what to do outside of that,
Like they've created a system of programming players actually to kind of like control them. Even this I talked about it. This very thing. Who's this guy now?
Yeah, I'm hearing the echo on that side, eh?
Okay,
I'm gonna do this. Wait. Let me do this. Okay, I think we're on WhatsApp now. Yeah, there's too much of an echo on this side. Guys, can you please all mute? Let's see something. Malume Kutso, can you unmute? I wanna check something.
I've done exactly that.
And then let's do Theo unmute as well. Let's see, is there an echo? No. I think maybe Kikumo. But anyway, guys, Yeah, Kumo's the one. I don't know what's happening on yours. Don't join on TikTok. Just join on the WhatsApp only. But yeah, guys, so what do you think of that proposition, Malume Kutso, that there's no creativity, man, Moko Bolong?
Mr. Oti.
I can hear you. I think it's fine now.
Okay, no, what this game, but it's obviously limited as you speak. I understand, and it's directed. And I've been listening to Amachida with regards to Abu Rafale, the difference between Abu Soreno. It depends. There is no way that guy is not creative. We cannot rate Umshishi as a textbook player. Yeah, I understand. Can someone take over? Something just came up. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, Theo. So then do you understand what I'm saying about Tina Maslala? You were meant to solve problems. I remember, I think it was Koloture. They interviewed Koloture and they asked him, what's the difference between you guys and the younger players? And Koloture said, guys, Tina, Arsene Wenger used to send us onto the pitch and we were meant to solve the problems on the pitch. So he's like, now when I'm coaching, I have to tell these kids, turn around. What's your man? Umuntu akukushaya kayi-3. Are you going to let him kushaya kayi-4? Put your body like this. Do that. Is that something that's missing in football?
Like Preston, as I said, like for the first time I watched that show, man, what Preston lecturers, what they all said, they conquered on that. It's like modern football is like somehow destroyed the skill of an individual. Like they go, they pick a player because he's good in passing or dribbling. Like Ngagbexela with this guy that Chiefs bought. What's this guy, man? I forgot. Like and like I forgot man his name, but man, it was the time of Steve Compella. He was a good passer,
Okay.
And then when he got to Chiefs, man, I forgot the surname, man.
Oh, yeah. I know you're talking about.
The guy with yes, thank you. We got Tunjangase because they said he's a good passer of the ball, right? When he gets to Chiefs, he's too lazy. We want him to be busy marking. That's I think that's what killed him as well, because now he's non-existent. You cannot find him anywhere. So I feel like in modern football, as much as we can claim Guti, it has advanced, goal creations, goal scoring, but it has created a disadvantage when it comes to individual brilliance. That's why you look at the Ballon d'Or now. We are talking about this thing, Messi. Like you look at Messi's identity. Messi was a dribbler. Messi will take the ball from the center, minus 3 players, a pass, and then a pass, then he scores. But now, because he's getting older, he cannot do that. What he rather does better now is like creating and then scoring free kicks, scoring in like goals that are outside of the box than before. And then if you take that element and you say, that's modern football, I beg to differ, because Messi is old now. He has to do that. Than when before he would take 5 players, run with them. Amape, Espanyol, they will be chasing him. But the purpose of what I think is happening is like they are eliminating certain elements that they are creating kind of like robots in football players. You understand? They want to tell you, pass like this, mark like this, like who's this guy who was playing number 2 Barcelona, man, from Brazil? Daniel Alves. Daniel Alves. Yes. He was the first, player to be box to box, kind of like, like a defender. And the Pep, you can see, okay, that was his style of play, but you can't tell me Pep was telling him, link up with Abo Messi, come deep from time to time. Not Pep, I don't think Pep was telling him that, but there are certain elements that he introduced in his style of play. He was a runner, and that's what I'm saying. Introduce something that you see from a player, don't minus it from him. You understand?
So then how do we feel about it, everyone else, about this thing of creativity and play?
Unmute, guys.
Okay, let me take this time just quickly. Guys, if you're watching the show and you're wondering how to join, Fridays are for members. Members are contributing to the channel on YouTube. So head on over to YouTube. 20 Rand a month is the cheapest one. You get access to our WhatsApp group, and also you get shows that are for us and that are open. Okay, guys, no, you can carry on, guys.
Guys, please unmute.
I think we need creativity, because oftentimes it what makes a team wins. Like if we have a team that was playing defensively like we saw Guntwena go Al Ahly. Creativity, Yamaseko was what won us the game. So I wonder if we instill that mentality to all over Sweden, or are we just gonna play robotic football, pass, and try and score and header? Then the games will not only be exciting, but also it's gonna be hard for us to win. So creativity does make it go.
And also, I don't know what Kumo is saying, Mr. Otine. Like in modern football, guys, as much as it can be tiki-taka, or like you have a strategy, as you said, you analyze. Okay, like you listen to Rulan what he was analyzing about Al Ali on point. He will tell you, good number 2, or the left back will be doing this, and this one will be doing this. But as much as if you gave that guy a chance and say express yourself, I don't think Mulan would be catching all those other things, because if a player is able to express themselves, the game itself changes, the dynamics of the game changes. But when a coach, if you tell him, you program him, you get the ball, go to the corner, go to the pylon, bring in a cross. The minute after 30 minutes, Roland sees that. For an example, what you do is when you get the ball, run with him. Force him good when he wants to come forward, he must think twice. But if that player is a player that is, like early equipped, like a Tlagan Pile, he will know, okay, when I get the ball, let me not cross, let me try and cut in. You understand? In that sense, you are confusing the enemy, you are confusing your opponents. But if your players are programmed, hence that's why I'm saying his skill circle, it then becomes minimized. That's why guys like Abo Messi, Abo Neymar, Abo Mbappe, they will always shine because they are not minimized. But they are told to go there, express yourself. Yeah, bo.
And that's why and that's why I always say on my end that sometimes I understand everything, guys. I understand we love our stats, our XG, our banbane forward dribbles, all of that stuff. But sometimes, guys, football is not rocket science, and I think we're robbing some of these kids. I don't know if I would think the way that I think if it was a situation where I grew up in a PlayStation, grew up in my advanced tactics, ngapa, TV, basponisa, this thing, and all of that stuff. Tina, maslali pola, you just got onto the pitch especially when you're little, you got onto a pitch, there was nobody telling you to invert or do this. You were trying to figure it out, and you became better players because you could read a game a little bit better. But these new players, man, it's a textbook.
So my thing is, OT, with regards to this whole thing, is that the modern football has monetized the game now. So everything now, it has consequences, like every guy said. So now you dribble, you lose the ball, the guys, they score the goal. And then say, for example, you're playing the AFL final, and then now you lose 76 million because when now you decided to dribble, not looking at your rest defense and all of that.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's not like the same as previously, whereby you could play a Soweto derby where there's no consequences, you're battling for relegation, you guys can do a must to can dance with the ball there. There's no consequences, they can go and score, it's only 3 points. But then now there's a lot at stake in this day, so you can't just dribble for a fun of dribbling. But then also you can also dribble if you're progressing the ball, maybe eliminating the defense. But then to dribble just to dance on the ball just for fun, there's no space in modern football to do that because there's so many.
But then they don't dribble, but shy were still. And then I look at the coach and I say, do you know why Shy will? Because Itanyako is playing defensive 6. And you're asking somebody to do something they're not good at. Rather Udliwe, knowing that you played your players in the right place, they play to their strengths. Because I feel as though today's coaches are about coaching. There's no such thing as coaching anymore. It's now, I have got this textbook and I've got the way that I want to play. And I'm going to cry and cry and cry for my team to sign me players that fit with the way that I want to play. Instead of at some point sitting down, looking at my team and saying, Yazin, you dribble. Like when you look at the Sundowns, the team yako, Temba's one umnandi. So they created a situation where, you know what, Temba, go and do your thing. Umkweno's will cover, Rivaldo's going to cover you, Modiba's going to cover you. We're going to play 5 defensive players just to make sure that when you dribble and you do whatever, we've covered you. That's why I like play teams like Abo Sundowns, Abo Man City, because on the surface it looks as though Man City is doing this thing where they're trying to do this modern thing. But it's going, no. Xavi, Iniesta, Anfani, Iniesta push up, Xavi become the engine, Busquets come inside, and then you are going to slow down the game when they attack us. But on the surface, it looks as though it's just these passes, you know. When you look at Sundowns defensively has a very good defense. They've got very good ways of hiding Abomshishi in terms of like defending and things like that. But if we just take it at face value, it looks as though he has, you know, if Mshishi was to sign for Kaizer Chiefs, Begzobanzima, you get what I mean?
Like, I remember also. Oh.
Yeah, no, I can carry on.
Yeah, oh, like I remember when we played Sundowns, Mr. OT. I forgot the guy that got injured, man. Uban, the one that they pushed. We got the guy when man. Abu Bakar.
Oh yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know who he is. I remember if you saw his goal last 3 now when they played against us, 3 or less 2 angsakumbul. Lapa shako nukinika, you understand? Ushayu kwinika lapa. If he misses that ball, I guarantee you. I'm up friends. Most like people, more than people, they were gonna say, no, it was unnecessary for him to do that skill, because if he didn't do that skill, he could have had the time to shoot the ball. But he does the skill and he gets the ball well, he scores, and people are like, wow, this is beautiful. Why can't you say the very same thing when the player like Lumfana Lowe Man United, if you remember, the one that Odlalaga left from Brazil, they pass him the ball, he turned, Antonio, yes, like he turned with the ball, and then he passes it, he loses the pass, and then they bashed him. But the question is Man United winning now? Because he does not do those skills, they still lose. So it's not like it's the skill that is making the team lose, but the skill is like a flair that he brings into the team, and it makes us supporters to enjoy the game. And I'm not saying Uti must always do it, like delay the passes. Like a lot of people, like I had a lot of people, but the multi-choice disc is boring because there's hundreds of goals, whatever. Have you seen those guys? I was watching the game with Chiefs, the Sundowns. Guys, those guys, that game was more interesting than the game with Chiefs, the Sundowns, the seniors. Because those boys, Malfigi Paula, it's not just about Gucci, they are programmed. Gucci, do this. No, you would see Gucci, these things, they come naturally to them. That's why Abumfundi Vundla, they were exposed, because they were playing against the team of Sundowns that are given a free will. Labafana, when they play the ball, they will play it from the back. And they're not building for the back because they want to score. They're building from the back because they're showing confidence in the ball. And if you can take that and integrate it to our senior team's way too, you will see good football will be more interesting. That's why people there, they go to the stadiums. And I think my supporter Kulugi Sundowns multi-choice than the senior team, because you enjoy those young boys than the senior team.
Okay.
Can I go in, Mr. OT?
There we go, Malume Kuto, you can go in.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, with the creativity comes in many ways.
Yes.
And dribbling also comes in many ways. Because sometimes we confuse it dribbling and showboating, right?
Okay, yeah.
If you look at Real Madrid, they work on the system that you are somewhat describing. You can see sometimes Okalo just says, Venisha Molbamba Mtat. It's that simple. Jude Molbamba gets into the right space, take a shot. Kanakimang that boy. Ernesto Valverde. Molbamba, cut in, take a shot, or do whatever you want. There's a level of freedom that's given to those players at Real Madrid, which I think is what the question is. Even if you check Kanaking, your Barcelona, your bigger teams, even Sundowns to a certain extent, you are put in a specific situation because they believe you've got the brains to be creative enough to get yourself out of a sticky situation. You understand? If you look at a player like Rivaldo Coutinho, he's entrusted with specific duties because of his abilities, and therefore it's like saying if you tell players of yesteryear, Bo Chabupule, because he's a dribbling wizard, and you say Chabupule go and dribble, it's not necessarily that you are limiting him, but instead you are encouraging him to do what he knows best. So when you tell Rivaldo Coutinho to say, and you say, Rivaldo, go and sit there and scan the entire pitch and spray those balls, you're not necessarily limiting him. Instead, you are advancing the player that he is, which is why these days we're having a conversation of saying Roland is making players better. It's because the duties he's giving to them are duties that he's assessed the strength of the player, and he's like, you know what, for you to shine and enjoy football, I think this is the best that you can do. Another player who's coming into his own, it's Toby Mvala. Toby Mvala is a midfielder, a defensive midfielder, but he comes to his Sundowns, and Roland is like, actually, my defensive midfielder plays much higher, but my centre back plays where a defensive midfielder at Highlands Park would play. And what I need is a speedy centre back. If you look at that put together, it describes who Toby Mvala is. You understand?
Yeah. No. I understand you. Theo, go ahead.
Yeah, I just. Oh, all right. Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, sorry. I thought you were finished. Sorry, Malume Kuto. Go ahead.
All right. But then, let's go to Lento Africa, Le Pirates. Now, if you've played with these guys, but the dribbling wizards, your Squamas and your Blackberry type of vibes, those who do funny things, if you played against them, you will know how effective that thing is. In as much as to the naked eye, it looks stupid. My brother, when they start doing the thing, the entire team panics. For no reason. Someone is dribbling for right back. La panic, the crowd is suddenly in your face. The field suddenly looks bigger. And I kid you not, check almost every instance of dribbling. A chance materializes out of it. It might look, if Squama executes it properly and does not lose the ball, trust me, the next thing that's going to happen, it's a chance. If you look at Ukana Kiman, this guy, Pirates, who is somewhat in between the two, in between a Sundowns type of dribbling and a Squama type of dribbling, Utito, he'll be on top of the ball, Ashape those 1-2 sides, and suddenly Pirates is flowing, the ball is moving to the other side. Ratomo is also juggling the ball for no reason. Then Ulpasa has a chance. So also that thing, in as much as we look at it, we can't see the direct result of it. Mentally, it hits the opponent hard. And the late life Barker used to tell doctor, apparently, this I did not witness, but it's been attested to, hey, doctor, the game is a bit tough. Climb on top of the ball, do your things there. And it will work like a charm because it really does affect the opponent. The other side of it, of course, is the video that was trending. Yeah, those boys who were playing against some school team. The boys are from Alex. The other side of it, at some point, it becomes a bit too disrespectful. It does have a disrespectful connotation about it. Why would you pray when we're playing football? It means you're saying, I'm not there at all. You do not acknowledge my presence. And you feel like you can talk to God and then come back to me and then still score. I understand. So it does have a bit of disrespect about it.
But is that wrong, though? Is that wrong? I get
if you listen to what was said by, I think it was when they addressed Neymar, to say, Neymar, here you are playing against someone's father. Okay? You are playing against someone's uncle. You are playing against someone's brother, a breadwinner at home. Now, it's okay to dribble them until they fall. But once you start kissing the ball, how is this person supposed to look at their son and say, my son, Neymar kissed the ball in front of me? So humility also goes hand in hand with things that do not affect you. Sympathizing and empathizing and saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to be nice with you. I'm not going to do it. I'd rather score 6 goals. Then, you know, man, once when Neymar starts turning it on, he starts trapping. He starts trapping the ball by his backside. He starts doing all sorts of funny things. So we don't want that against someone's father.
There was that incident, Yaga Tembazwane, on that Polokwane.
The most famous
After
clip.
after that, we've never seen that player again, and I'm asking myself if he
You
had
understand?
what's gonna happen with him. Hey,
And it's not only Tembazwane. Listen, it's not only Tembazwane and that Polokwane City. I can give you two most recent players who suffered the same fate as that guy. It's Andile Charlie and Rivkimang. Charlie and Kanakimang, that guy was Santowns, Russian Teruk. Ever since Saleng hit them on their backs, it's been difficult to play football. So you have to be cautious when you dribble people. You are ending careers. You're taking away bread from someone's table.
But okay, well, you look what this guy Kumangu Zungu did. Ne? Let's say you are playing a defender. You know, Mosama defender. I remember, I think it's here who said Jomo used to tell them, and we'll even do that extra. Let's say a player is busy captain. Like, is it wrong for you to Mageza Mshaying Shibobo, Kuma Sherela Shaying and Togo Pants? Is it wrong if that player has been busy capping you? And you do that, you show showboating, but he ends up injuring himself. Is it wrong?
No, that one is a fight. It's a fight directly. Both parties are wrong. And can I just elaborate whereby this issue of respect? I was revving a game, Starsley and another team. If I mention them, it's gonna become too obvious. Those boys became disrespectful to the opponent. You know, it ended with parents on the pitch promising each other guns because of respect. Because once you take it to a certain area, people lose all sense of reasoning, and it sort of infringes against the spirit of the game. You understand? So sometimes we also, and actually nothing that I'm thinking about it. Coach Peter once warned to Makari and to say, you can't stand on the ball like that. There's much more on the line than just your fancy flicks and tricks. If you do that while Nake Petri say over 2.5, and when you decide which you're the most skillful player in the world, you are gonna embarrass my players. That might just lead to chaos and a stampede go stadium. And I know other things are also likely to lead to a chaos and a stampede, like 6 goals. But some things have a higher chance and they are avoidable and they are not in the spirit of the game. And
isn't that what made the game fun? Isn't that what made the game enjoyable, man? To say that, you know, when we play this game and we're playing against you guys, yeah, you can't chop us by it. Concentrate that you have. Isn't that what's missing? Because it feels the phrase I got told was it's mitigating risk. So now I'm mitigating the risk of that happening and that happening. Then I'm watching a nil-nil. No one's doing anything because they're all mitigating risk. Someone's gonna get a spite and people are gonna be angry.
No, and after all, Malume Kuto, soccer is entertainment. I hear what Otu is saying. After all, soccer is supposed to be entertainment. It's supposed to entertain people. So there's no really harm in doing those things. And also, what does the FIFA law says? Is there anything wrong with players doing that according to the laws?
Yes, there actually is something wrong. It's called unsporting behavior.
Do you get a red card? Do you get, is it?
Yeah, it's a pokeball offense and sporting behavior. Some referees allow it's a cultural thing.
Coach slash referee Abutikuto. What is unsporting about playing a sport? What
is unsporting about the spy too, man?
For example, let's say you I want to give you something direct. That's gonna be. For example, if you are an opponent of mine, and then you are teammates with OT. I'm talking to Agent for now. Agent is teammates with OT. When OT is about to pass you the ball, and then I call for the ball, then like one OT, whereas I know which I'm an opponent. That is very unsporting. You understand? It's bookable, but
no.
It's
That's
because
that's
agent Ulele. It's so
no
different. I can
no
just say, agent is sleeping. That's why he's passing me. Why would
no
you pass
no
an
no no
opponent?
OT no not OT with Kuto no. What we are saying is some sporting behavior. Those are dirty tricks, you know. Those are like Ali players pulling down stuff like that. Are not touched. That is some sporting behavior. But show me your number, juggling the ball with my head. I mean,
No, remember,
yeah,
then now I'm gonna stretch it, and it's gonna sound like I'm reaching, and I probably am. You see, if you
flourishing.
think about football, football is about scoring goals. That's why you have things like the penalty that the ball must move forward, the free kick that the ball must at least move. So we need to see movement when you're on the field of play. Now, if you start standing on top of the ball, what movement are you trying to achieve? Well, we know with you trying to mock the opponents, you're trying to belittle, you're infringing on their dignity. And if you check South Africa's constitution, dignity is one of the most important rights. No,
Are you
listen.
reaching?
No.
Are you reaching?
Listen.
Guys, there's this lady. Mama wants to speak. Can you allow him? He's been trying to speak for some time now.
But
Okay, I'm
bro,
sorry. I really went on for too long.
Yeah. There's a lady who has been trying to speak in Yale. I don't know if it's a lady or a gentleman. He's been trying to speak, and as gentlemen, our voices are a bit higher than.
No,
man.
I've been speaking,
Yeah,
but
but
there's
Oh,
no
he's been
lady here.
speaking, dude.
Yabona, unsporting behavior.
Abazali, man.
Okay, but can I just jump in then? Can I ask a question that I want to take it back to coaching. Is the problem that these things are unsporting behavior and all of that stuff, or is the problem that these new coaches and the new way that the game is ran, you need a certain level of control, and to the point where it's easier for me to control 11 guys who are 7.5 out of 10 than to have a 10 out of 10 level 6? Is it one of those things that maybe the new coaches are lacking? And I say this because as somebody Odalenkasi, and then somebody like, remember I said the one day that I love about Kevin Hunt, I love about Pitom Simane, I love those type of coaches because it's not about the iPad, it's not about all the stats and all of that stuff. It's about my relation to you and how I handle you. King, man management and things like that. Is it maybe a symptom that our new coaches are lacking some of those things, and it becomes easier for me to play it like it's Football Manager than to play it as if it's a real game with real other people?
Ish. Do you know
Can
what
I
I
take
think,
it?
ne?
Oh, sorry.
Well, I wanna, like, when we play football, I'm gonna use every tactic in the group, in my disposal to win the game, including psychological warfare. Have you noticed the what you call this, the pre-match conferences? I guess they always play there, team, and it's mind tricks. So if I'm gonna stand on the ball and do whatever to humiliate the opponent, because I know psychologically, like I'm demeaning him in a way. I'm diminishing his pride.
Yeah,
You can
Ronaldo,
come
they used to
there.
tell us, Kuma, they used to tell us, sorry, the first minute of the game, I'm trying to spy to. Then he'll never come back to you for the rest of the game.
Yeah, sometimes it's like game tight, and so now I want to use every weapon at my disposal. Like for instance, so ne, I don't know if you guys follow rugby, especially this one, World Cup. Ne? There was this thing, 7-1 split. It was so controversial. The white people back in England, they were crying and saying it's unsporting behavior. It's not in the spirit of the game. Mara, the Springboks, they are strong skilled forwards. Meaning they've got 2 packs of Rosaries forwards, or they can go in and bash the forwards of England, then come back with a new team like Henshabu bomb squad and stuff. So
Yeah.
their strength lies in their forwards. Even though split is so controversial, but it's within the rules of the game. So if you're gonna do that, most soccer, why are we complaining? Remember, football, it's a hooligans game. If you wanna have a gentleman game, go play polo or golf. Watlalohan, polo get to make any hooligans, and if you're gonna win at whatever cost, so be it. That's how I play anyway. Every
Mr.
single day.
Kumo, Can you please name 3 rugby teams in SA?
Inge?
Or,
Ah, guys.
Okay.
Hi, Maraluna.
or, 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 or
No,
explain
I
the
can name
7-1
what
split
three.
to us. Or explain the 7-1 split to us. Eh? I thought this love affair of rugby, you were done with it after the parade. I even
Oh
saw
no, it's
some
fine. I
teams.
would gladly
I even saw some
explain.
teams squeezing themselves in, to trying to touch a trophy.
Re
I'm like, hey.
tlogele, re
I
tlogele.
remember offer over what offer three
Doing
of
the
the
God
God
of
of
honor
honor
as
maybe.
always.
No,
Mina,
Wait. I don't know what's going on with Kuma. Kuma, it sounds like you're far away when you jump in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Namkuka, no?
that's better. Malume Kuto, you had something to say there?
yeah, no. I just wanted to contribute and say, with our South African players and coaches, nah, I'm not one to be too hard on them because of two things, specifically the coaches. Development is bad.
Okay.
Why do I say development is bad? There are so many players which you've seen since we have access to DSTV and the internet from Orkant. We've seen them come up, and within 2 years, the boy is a beast. You understand? He's unplayable, which then speaks to development. Tina, there are players we've seen at probably even at a younger age who are beastly in their kind of preliminary age, and then next thing he's gone, or he never even makes the first team. Jude Bellingham was trending when he was 15, I think, and luckily for him, he was trending at the right team, which is the kind of what's that team?
Dortmund. Was
No,
it
before
Dortmund?
Dortmund.
No, before Dortmund.
Birmingham.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Birmingham, I think, right? And they were able to take care of him. Dortmund came in while he was playing in the first division, and they signed him, right? And we have we now have a confession of some sort from Rio Ferdinand that the reason he didn't go to Man United when he was bubbling as a 15-year-old is because he wanted assurance that he'd be playing in the first team and not development. And Man United were like, nope. And Dortmund were willing to give him that assurance. He said, yeah, even at the age of 15 or 16, you will be playing for the first team. And I was like, okay, sharp. Dortmund. And today he's a beast at Real Madrid. Now, I want to bring it back home where a 15-year-old was changing games in front of us. Different level, of course, a whole different level. But Umfundo Vilagazi would step in and literally give the game to Toronkop on TV. And you can see what he's playing even against the bigger teams, more members. When that boy stepped in, you could see Witty. This mini human being is really influencing, and he'd be banging in free kicks. Witty, he's not influencing the game on a Lentwania Baba, but le Outia Baba. And then instead of his father getting the assurance to say the boy is going to first team, they sign him and hoy him, got DDC, and he's been there for like 2 years, yet to make his debut for first team. You understand? So when will he develop? When will coaches have access to him? Now let's take it back to the hottest topic in town. Who Coach Rulani is able to take players and improve them. You understand? So sometimes I feel like coaches do not have the right players, and some of the players do not have the right coaches. So someone looks like a 5 because they don't have the right coach. But with the right coach, there could be a 10 out of 10.
But then, Malume Kuzo, isn't that going back to that question I asked, where it's like, I understood coaching to be different than what it is now. So, for example, for me, a coach is somebody who looks at these players and goes, "This is what I have in my team. Let me see how best I can orientate this team towards these guys' strengths, and then we can play like that." But nowadays, it seems as though coaches are saying, "No, I need to have 100% of my players, then I can start doing something, then I can start moving forward." You get what I mean? And there's only so many teams. There's only so many teams that can give you that. Rulani has the luxury of saying, yeah, I want this type of player and that type of player and that player arriving. But at number 30, Richards Bay, what happens there? Shouldn't there be coaching that happens? And that's why I admire Kevin Hunt for me. And I think it also plays into the star conversation, because even egos, handling egos, doing all those things.
Well, it's impossible for Richard Spade to have the best coach, and I'll tell you why. If Richard Spade had the best coach, that coach would be taken by Chiefs or Pirates, even London, immediately. That coach should move. That's why we've seen connecting some flashes of brilliance from the likes of Abo Evidence, Mahopa, and Gordon Mfele warrant a move to Orlando Pirates. Small teams are not allowed to be big or be good unless if they have the pockets to maintain that standard. And if they try maintaining a standard when they don't have the pockets, they might end up like a Leicester City or Manning Rangers, being relegated and bankrupt. You understand? So we can't really expect small teams to be consistent. Another example of
more on the coaches. Like Ten Hag is struggling. Go on.
Basically, I'm saying if a coach is good enough for a small team, they'll be soon moved to a bigger team. So I think the question is about coaches who are coaching bigger teams. I understand.
Or a coaching style, more of coaching style, like in terms of, I coach super sport. Gavin coaches super sport. He understands that there's things he can't ask for. So he has to make do with what he has and improve what he has, and maybe be flexible enough to be able to change those things. But you look at a Ten Hag, you look at an Arteta, Arteta could not coach up until a point where he had all of his own players. And for me, coaching was always about, look, this is what you have, make do with what you have, then maybe you earn the chance to get these other guys. And the reason why I'm asking this is, does it then influence these things about skills, about stars, about all that stuff? Because it's tougher for these guys to manage a star, So I'd much rather not have a star, but have 3 players that are average and will listen to me. How much does those things play into what has happened to our football now, if that makes sense? That.
Hello.
Anyone can jump in. I can hear Malume Kutsu. You sound far away. Theo, you can jump in.
Yeah, to add on what you guys are talking about, I was listening, as I said, I don't know why that show is so relevant to what we're talking about today. They talked about Atazwane there. He was playing, I forgot for the name of the team, but it's in Pinon or something. So the guy there said, no, Prasten approached them because apparently I think he was a poacher or something for Chiefs or a scouter for Chiefs. So he approached them and told them, I think they said they're going to give it to them. I think for 50,000. I don't remember exactly what the number was. But the guy, Preston, said, he emphasized, no, we want this boy, we want him, we want him to go to our first team, coach Chiefs, blah, blah, blah. But usually what they said, what was very interesting is that as a scouter, you look at a player, and then when you take that player from development, how Misa the main team, you are giving him to the coach knowingly this player will break in the first team, and the coach needs such a player, you understand? So I think nowadays our coaches don't want to be flexible, firstly, and secondly, they don't want to compromise with their jobs, because it's like at Chiefs right now, I can ask you, why wasn't Nseki not playing Abu Shabalala? Why Nseki was not playing all these youngsters? It's because he was afraid of his job. I can bring him to do Shabalala, and he does what he did in that game. He's supposed to pass the ball, he tries to do a skill, they take the ball, they score. Already my job is on the line. But I think back then, or the coaches of then, they had the mindset of understanding that I'm not just here for myself, but I'm also here for the players. Whereas you look at Man United, Chelsea has been developing young players. We have seen young players, Madrid, Barcelona, and you look at teams like that are mostly buying young players from other teams and bringing them in. In most cases, those players, they don't break in, because when they get here, there's already a standard that player can produce, but already there's a player in the development team in United that is playing exactly like that player. And you have to ask yourself, I've already bought this player, but I have a player like him. So coaches are I would say they are very much reluctant to go to the development and say, let's fetch a young player and bring him in. Like Arsenal, guys, is a primal example. Arsenal, they've been trying to bring youngsters, but danger is like the time frame is not allowing them. Arteta and I know Zuguti, it's been a long time since Arsenal won a trophy or a league or competed that much. So every player that he brings in someone that he knows that has to be for his own strength, you understand? So it's risky for them to take youngsters and try and put them in the scheme because they want to win games now, boy. Like Man City.
But in terms of in terms of Abu Arteta as well, Arteta struggles with stars. Arteta struggled with Ozil, struggled with Oba, struggled with Lacazette, struggled. Like, is that an issue, Guti? I can't risk it and bring in youngsters, but also, corner lama player lao that change games. Oba won him the FA Cup. You know what I mean? But now I don't have the management skills to deal with those guys. And you see a lot of the new coaches that are coming in, all of them prefer not to have stars at all. Like they'd much rather have, Lentwana that listen to them and maybe average older guys that will listen instead of having some stars that maybe it does take a little bit more to coach those type of players.
Like, okay, I can make an example because you're using Arsenal. Let's talk about Fabregas, Henry, Bonasari, If you look those kind of players, those were players that when they came to Arsenal, I would say they had an aptitude for success. They had a desire. They be the best. That's why Henry went to Barcelona, Fabregas went to Barcelona, because it's not like it was just a project of saying I want to play for Arsenal for the rest of my life or I want to prove myself only in Arsenal, but they wanted to go man and be known. Yeah, I think it goes with the attitude of a player. It goes as you as a coach you can bring a star in a team, but if that star is gonna be there just so that he can be a star in the team, but not for the club or for the for all competition, then you have a problem. But also, Mr. Uti, those guys are no longer considered to be coaches. We said this, they are managers. As a manager, there are certain skills that you need to have that a coach doesn't have. You understand? You go beyond the football pitch. You need to go beyond and see, okay, Mumfundo Vundla is struggling with multi-choice disc. If I want to integrate him to the senior team, what's the best way to do it? You simply just do a thing. Chiefs is playing, they are winning or losing, or maybe they like that game in the Golden Arrows. And you see with this guy's, you bring him on, you just put him for the last 5 minutes. You understand? You say, go there and let's see. Yeah, but you are not, I know it's a risk that you're taking as a coach, but you're also understanding. I know that he's called a star, and a lot of people have seen that quality in him. So if I put him in and I fail, it won't be just me that is wrong. All the other people that have their faith in him, they will be wrong. Unlike Saile goes in there, he runs with the ball, he does nothing, and you still get the same criticism. What I'm saying is, you can bring a star from a young development and say, this boy is a star in his team, in that young boys. When I bring him in and he changes the game, everyone's going to be saying, oh, wow, the coach is great. So I think it's more like fear and also a contradiction. I have stars. I have young players that can do things, but also I prefer to have ordinary players that I know which I can talk to, and also I can bring my opinion to them. But look at what Pep said about Messi. Pep once said, I ended up stopping coaching him because I couldn't coach him. I would tell him to do one thing and he'll do the opposite, but he will still get the results. Yeah, but so you bring out the best out of a star than you insert anything.
Okay.
It's a tricky one because every team is a star, ne? Not only for match winning games, ne? But also for the commercial side of it, and also potentially to attract new players. Our level Manchester United as an example, that team is full of superstars and overly paid ones, ne? But the problem with their current manager, he doesn't have man management skills because of not Jude Bellingham, Sancho was a marquee signing. He had Ronaldo, arguably the biggest star in the world. He couldn't even manage him properly. Sometimes you need to stroke the star's ego. That's how you develop. I want, like for instance, when Ronaldo came over to Manchester United, didn't they like break a record for most jerseys sold? Or one. That's what the star gives you. Fans wanna come to Old Trafford just to see Ronaldo. Doesn't matter if he's playing or not. Even
And he was top
argument
goal scorer last season, just by the way.
and Bona Habe and the Saudi Arabia recognizes the power. Yeah, this star. Bona ever since Ronaldo Ayako Saudi Arabia, how many players have followed him, arguably?
Not the same.
So I want Nagri, you need to a team needs to have a star. And because like let's take it locally, né? Finally you develop your own stars. Obviously they become big for the club. Like for instance, Otia Moto or one from Richards Bay, then Sundown so or Pirate Matla. That's a stuff you say okay about them because those teams are gonna offer him cafe and a chance of winning something, né? But when you have stars, you can get the proceeds of the star, you can buy more players. So it helps the team financially happy. So if you gonna say I wanna become a coach, I wanna become a manager, make sure you look at every aspect of your coaching career as a man. Don't just look at the ball tactics level your management no happily therapy. Like you have to be more than a coach, you have to be a mentor, you have to be a therapist. In some cases you have to be a father. So if you fail as a coach in doing those things, that says a lot about you. And you can't say, no, I can't have a star player in my team because of 1, 2, 3. No, then you are not, you, my friend, are not a coach. Go and be development coach or just become an assistant to someone who can.
Can I ask something on that question?
Then look, sir,
Let me let Malume Kuto come in just on this one.
yeah, I have a different take, right? It goes back to that correlation and causal thing, where maybe the problem is it's not star players, but a specific personality clashing with another personality.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there's a success where the personalities match and the guy is a star, so it does not get publicized as much. For example, Pep Guardiola has the exact same problem, one could say, about star players. Could not handle Yaya Toure, could not handle Samuel Eto'o, could not handle, there's another guy at Man City that he, a couple of guys actually.
Could not handle Abramovich, yeah.
Could not handle, I think, to a certain extent, not really, but to a certain extent, Thierry Henry as well. And then also did not see the value in keeping Kun Aguero, which is why Kun went to him and City. One could misinterpret it and think he's not good with stars. But what's a star? If I'm coaching ball playing and ball holding, then probably star Rodri. But if I'm coaching running, then probably star would be, I don't know who's the fastest player in England. Can I give man that boy?
Not Walker, come on. Oh yeah, Bale.
Play for Man United. No, the one who used to play for Man United. Can I give man the one who came in and left? He probably be one of the best. One of the best, because now we're playing running football only. You understand? So if you look at it like that, then you'll see which, okay, maybe what we look at as a star is a liability to the team.
Okay.
If we look at today, if we look at Sundowns, right?
You've always been a fan.
It's fine. It's fine. If we look at Sundowns, right, and we look at what who the star player was, he was even nominated for Player of the Season, Andy Lechal, right? One of the best CDMs. But then he's unfairly so excluded from the team. And then they take Utebo Homukwin. Now, what's expected from a CDM in the team? You have to cover so much ground from box to box. At his age and with his body type, without being, do you think Uchali can cover as much ground as Umukwin without getting injured within 2 games? I think not. So what I think then led to a removal is that he then became a liability to the system instead of becoming a star player to the team. he might have a big profile, but then he's not a star player in that sense. He's now becoming a liability. So if you check, I think CR7 goes through the same thing where coach is like, guys, I'm really tired of scoring through the middle and being forced. I want my middle guy to feed the guys coming from the sides, which is when we saw kind of vague horse come in and we did see kind of Rashford flourish. We understand. Vague horse is gone now. Rashford has been his neck. We understand. There's a correlation there. And this guy, Atletico Madrid, Simeone, he pointed to this guy, Kimbang Cheluso or something like that, saying this guy is so important to top performance got Jude Bellingham. This is the guy we should be crediting. And people have been calling that guy a cow. And when that guy came in, Uchu started scoring, and I heard the commentators saying, actually, I think he might have been right. This is the guy who makes this guy flourish. So all of these star players in the world, only a few of them can cope in different systems. And if you ask me, I believe none of them can cope in different systems. Some manage to strong arm teams to changing a system to what suits them as star players. But if so number 2 and you come in, you leave us at number 8, whether you're leading goal scorer or not, your presence can be interpreted.
But then, you could also argue, let's say in the Ronaldo one, in a transition period, Ronaldo steps up and scores 18 goals, top goal scores for the team that is going through a heavy transition, that everything is going wrong, coach is coming in and whatever, right? And then coach says, I'm getting rid of you, or they go through whatever. I'd understand it if it was purely tactical. But a lot of the time, these things become personal. You get what I mean? Like a lot of the time, these things, it's like, think of Pep Guardiola and Eto'o. It's personal because Pep jumps in and says, I don't need you. I go on to then score 35 goals for the team or whatever and save your ass, basically. But then at the end of the season, it's not a nice, hey, you know what, we're letting you go, I need to change. It's a fight. You know what I mean? Arteta and Aubameyang got on a plane. Like, he was like, you know what, guys, I'm done. Got on a plane, flew that side. They were always complaining. Cristiano Ronaldo got into an interview where they had a whole big thing and he had to say words or all of that stuff. Doesn't that come also down to management, that if especially with these new coaches, if every time you deal with a star, drama, and Charlie, same thing. It wasn't like a transition where he went, yo, Charlie, you've dropped. It became a personal fight or whatever, and then Charlie's now on a South African tour. He was driving everywhere in South Africa while Sundowns is playing. Whereas if I could argue, if it was just a tactical thing, it becomes like Henderson at Liverpool. I am my guy. It's time. We move you on, no hard feelings, no whatever. But for me, on top of the personality thing that you just said, it feels as though these guys can't deal with people that won't inherently listen to you first, Chuck, if that makes sense. So you're dealing with somebody that's done this. So Ronaldo looks at you and says, my guy, I hear what you're saying, but your way hasn't scored any goals and I've had to drag you out. Can we sit down and have a chat? You look at Van Persie at Arsenal. There was a story, Van Persie at Arsenal. Van Persie literally sat down with management at Arsenal and said, guys, as captain, I'm captain, I'm one of the bigger players. I want to sit down with you guys so that we can improve the team. I see this. What do you guys see? Yada, yada, yada. Allegedly, he was then mithed and then sold, right? So then I'm like, then you look at Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti walks into Real Madrid, Ronaldo, Converse Banban, all of the players that they say are bad influences. Wins a Champions League, wins a league. Goes to another league. Hey, these guys are a problem. Last coach was fired. Goes to Chelsea. I think he won the league and won an FA Cup. Those are coaches to me. But these guys that like everything has to be perfect. Everything must be, and then they must all listen to me. And then few teams will give you that. Very few teams will have the ability to do that for you.
I like the questions in the examples, right? If you think about it. Firstly, Charlie, Aubameyang, Ronaldo, they've got something in common, and that is they've been there and they've done it. And there's a proverb or a saying that says you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So into denying my experienced players having been given the platform now at a young age to coach like a senior team Yakokasi. So I was like on my 21 because they were like I lay young comos, am I your coach? So at like 21 I could like coach the 30-year-olds, the 28-year-olds Kokas. What then became a problem is when they didn't agree with you. They would go on a campaign, mobilize, and literally dismantle the team. And next thing you know, even the player you had something planned for them is now against you. You're like, and then the remedy to that would be just to say, and then suddenly everything is working well. You're like, actually, this guy's a serious problem.
Yeah.
Now, if I come onto your platform, you've got an order, Mr. OT, of Kana King. We give each other a chance. No cuss words. I come in here. I start swearing at our agent, our Kumo, when they call me a Sundowns fan, about Rohai. And then as you're about to reprimand or stop me from that, you see the viewership there go up to 2,000. And as much as your viewership has gone up, would you then say you need me, or would you then say you're a problem, chief? So
I think there's a way to handle it. Like, for example, remember Mark?
Yeah,
going off in the comments, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put you on. I'm gonna put it on, and you're gonna jump onto the show, right? Well behaved. He didn't. I don't think he expected it. Behaved. Didn't necessarily go hard the next day. I'm not saying that those players must be allowed to run amok. What I'm saying is that, so Alex Ferguson, for example, and I know it might be a different situation, he understands that Ronaldo is super competitive. So instead of coming in and shouting at him and telling him, he says, okay, Cristiano, I'm going to make a bet with you that you're not going to get 15 or however many goals, right? Now, by virtue of that, Cristiano falls in line, because now we've got a bet together. You're trying to do this thing. I've come at you differently. I had a coach when I was under 17, Upratuli. Love him to death. My favorite coach I've ever had in my life. He understood that you don't treat everybody the same. So, for example, I'm a quiet guy. I'm more of a guy that if you tell me that a coach comes in and tells me, go and do this, I'll go and do it. I'm not going to fuss with you. I'll go and do it. Then Konutemba needs to be shouted at. Then Kona this one and that one. You orientate yourself. So, for example, with Manchester United, all Ten Hag really needed to do was to give Cristiano the captain's armband. Doesn't need to go and make him do the duties or whatever. Just give him the status symbol of, you've got the captain's armband. He's on your side now. Bo Mourinho were very good at this. Carlo Ancelotti, who I mentioned, super good at this stuff. But with the new coaches, that part is missing. And I think that's why stars are no longer wanted, because by virtue of me being a star, I do deserve a certain level of treatment, but you have to massage the situation. And that's where the man management part comes in, where I feel like, same with Arteta. Arteta fought with everybody that has had, quote unquote, an attitude. Whereas some of the other guys, just you bring him onto your side in a different way, And I feel like that's what's missing. Look at Steve Compella, how Steve Compella and Charlie are working together. Do you know why? Yeah, I make you feel as though whatever. He listens to everything that Steve says, because Steve is an older coach, for example. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. I wanted to land where you spoke about Carlo Ancelotti, and I think Mourinho fits that picture. Carlo basically ignored Bale because he didn't like Bale's attitude. He could see which, okay, now you're okay with Lemali, you don't want to play. He ignored him. He was like, I'm not going to deal with this guy. I think at some point he also referred him to train alone or something like that. He's like, even Lego finaling where it looks like I'm going to need you to sharp away, because there was a personality issue there. Jose Mourinho, Juan Mata, same thing. It was like, it's not working in Vanagit. I know you've been winning Chelsea Player of the Year back to back, but with me, Vanagit, you're not the one. I feel like you must leave. So what I think happens is that some people have a personality that's welcoming of a lot more people, and some people are more particular. And I feel like Arteta, because he's an understudy, Yaga Pep, who has been vocal, and sometimes we bring it down to race when it comes to Pep, but we've seen him do it with other players, which if you don't listen, it's chai. And to date, it continues with Abu Cancelo. If you don't listen, it's chai. You understand? So because Arteta learned from such a person, and he's probably been burnt before by allowing a rotten potato to live within the bunch and see it affect the rest of the bunch. He's now become ruthless in that anyone who doesn't listen to me can via. And if I allow CR7 to say, let's play 2 strikers, and for conversation purposes, and I play 2 strikers, when we lose, whose brain is affected? Who is Kumo and Agent calling for? They're like, hello, Coach Lowenzani. So I would rather lose my brain on something that I know and understand, rather than to just give it to someone who, after I lose, like, Magadwera, you get paid for this. Why would you listen to a player?
But you see how I was like, you don't change your formation, you give him the armband. You get me? You don't even have to give him the responsibility. But now I've managed him. You get me? I've managed him because that's all he wants.
That's the thing with UCR7. He wants to change the formation. And I can say this loudly because I know why does he want to change the formation? The formation must suit his GOAT status that he's chasing.
No. That's why, but that's why Kicho Kuzo. But that's why Kicho Kuzo, I get it. But Ten Hag also made the choice to keep him in the team. You get what I mean? Apparently, the beginning of this season or last season, whenever he did the thing, apparently Ronaldo came to them and said, guys, I want to go. You get me? And
all right,
opportune time to just go, okay, you want to go, that's great. We let you go. We don't have to deal with the drama. But if I'm going to keep the drama, if you're going to bring Cristiano into the locker room, there's certain things you do because he's Cristiano. You get what I mean? So I'm like, if I am going to bring him in, everybody knew that he had to be captain. Everyone, even if you're sitting on the outside, whether it's a real captain or fake captain, you make him captain first shot. You get what I mean? Because you're like, it's something that soothes his ego so that he will listen to me later on. You get me? Same as that example I gave you about Alex Ferguson. Alex Ferguson understood that this man is hot. Owana is hot. I'm going to take that hot and use it to my advantage. Hey, Cristiano, I bet you can't score 20 goals this season. Oh, coach, bet. Now I've got that on my side. But in cases where it's lit and it's bad, fam, I'm always for one where I'm like, cut. If you beginning of the season you see that Jali's a problem, cut him. Because when Jali becomes a problem, 3/4 of the season down, and now I have to do press conferences and all of that stuff. Now I expect you to manage that situation. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of these coaches, the new ones don't know how to manage. Aubameyang is great when he's happy and he was scoring goals and he won the FA Cup. Just like that, he's a cancer. But he had been coming late before, he had been doing those things. It's only now that you had to decide to do non-negotiables that it became a problem. And instead of letting him go beginning of the season and saying, my guy, thank you so much, you are a hero. They gave him a 3-year contract. And then first year of the 3-year contract, now late coming is a problem when we've known that Oba's been like that ever since he's been at Arsenal and under Arteta. You get what I mean? So some of these things, guys.
No, 100%. For me, in closing, Alex Ferguson is the same Alex Ferguson who threw a boot at Beckham's face. But let me give Amashita a chance.
And he transferred him the moment the window opened. The moment the window opened, Nateka Bolo Real Madrid. You get me?
No, let me give Amashita a chance.
Guys, the other guys. Oh, sorry. No, guys, you can jump in. The other guys. Kumo, Kio, I don't know.
Uh-huh. No, man, I like how you were using Rolane and Jali situation as if you don't know why he left. You say Jali was a big star. That's arguable.
Okay.
Mara, Shapo, like I could see why Ronaldo let that guy go. And one thing about our coach Rolani, didn't go to media and bad mouth him, even though the rumors were right. Like Enale Sipho Mbule, ne? So my question is, I agree Sipho Mbule and Jali were accused of the same things. Why is the other one playing and why has the other one left? And instead of Jalile Nahape at the Hambole, like you said, he was doing a nationwide tour being himself. Well, Kalohan, you can't be accused of being an alcoholic coming to work drunk. We're now on trainer because you know in corporate, like you like what you do on social media affects your job and you can get fired for that. So you know sometimes when you let players go, it's also part of player management because you're doing it for the good of the team. So I wonder if Ronaldo was a drunk and he gave me 50 goals. Sharp, I will humble myself. I'll give him whatever he wants as long as he does it. Jali and he was injury prone. Yes, he was the best CDM. Like now Ramufile, like sometimes you get
Why did that season? Why did that season? Why that came after?
On the floor, Pomara still ever since Atamago Sundowns, he hasn't really produced the stuff that he produced for Sundowns. So I think he might have a blossoming relationship, but right now, Jali Noge after forward, we remember Jali. Oh, Mopol Naira go tax me to that bank. So pirate before I go Belgium. What does Jali? What happened? So Rolani, yeah, now he's a young coach. Mare, he does have maturity. Like even when we play, you can see his players. Pamo embrace when they score, when they get off the field. I think like and he gives everyone a fair chance to be themselves and play to their best abilities. So yeah, in terms of management there, and I get he's a modern coach. Which way and that sense they have. And I wanna comparison here Pepe Ateta. Yeah, it's one thing to compare. Like you know, in life, ne? Like Pepe is a superstar manager himself. Like his rival in terms of like status currently, like Mourinho, Lebo Klopp. Those are gods of management. So one of this boy, Arteta, you can't really compare to him. You can't do exactly what Pep does because Pep can get away with it. We're now because the biggest trophy of won FA Cup.
Even besides that, people forget that Pep was the start of this movement, because if you remember correctly, when Pep went from B team to A team at Barcelona, he took his boys from Go B team who were subservient to him, who listened to him, brought them up to the A team, which is fine. It's his prerogative. And the moment he landed Go first team, Are Deco, Ronaldinho, Eto. It's fine, guys. I don't even want the challenge of managing you guys. It's fine. I've got my guys who listen to me. I'm getting rid of you guys. So I think Pep had the luxury of doing those type of things. You get what I mean? Like what I'm trying to get through to people is that Pep at Man City and Barcelona, Mourinho at Chelsea, okay, he did it differently, but they have the luxury of going, yeah, we're getting rid of everybody. But then at Arsenal, or up to the point where Arteta started, at Arsenal, you can't. You get what I mean? You're not going to get the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 signings. Happy he's done very well with the PR. But you get what I mean? So now you find coaches that are not in the situation, but Ten Hag. I believe Cristiano would have been incredible for Ten Hag, especially right now.
Exactly.
You get what I mean?
Exactly.
But because he walked in, they egoed each other, and then you know what you're getting with Cristiano. And that's why I'm like, just give him the armband, Joe. Give him that. They fought. Apparently, the first fight was Ten Hag gave the armband to Maguire, right? And then Ronaldo didn't want to hear it, blah, blah, blah. fam, just give him the armband, make him a fake captain or whatever. He's on your side. He's scoring goals. He absorbs a lot of the pressure from outside. You get what I mean? But now you've made your move, and now he's seeing his ass right now. For example, you know.
Yeah. And you know what? The other thing, ne? I wanna le Pepe. I want like he can also suck up if he believes or you're worth sucking up to. Fencing point Messi. Obvious. I wanna go Barcelona like Samuel Eto'o was the biggest star before Messi Ablosoma. So maybe Messi Nata answered the competition for Messi, so the path was gonna be clear for Messi. Because while Messi was younger, he was a superstar in the rising, and that's gonna give him what loyalty to Pep. So even the play, like you were saying, remember part of our discussions earlier on this week, you were saying Iniesta, Silva, Xavi were playing according to Messi, and Messi was allowed to score the most goals because that was the mandate. Is that not part of playing to Messi's ego?
Exactly.
So yeah, Pep wakhona ho hira and I ka bona hore this guy Ten Hag now we put it on a sike, and Ronaldo would have been a great savior in it. And also there's a rival happy. I wonder when all ka captain's armband. We all know who every penalty get Ronaldo. Why are you making him share LeBron?
Bringing him off the bench, doing all these things, like even if he's not for you, there's just some things that they create more questions than need be. And I think these new coaches just go, you know what? I don't even want to deal with these guys. Which is up to them. But I think it's also adding to that thing, football, or it's no longer, I don't know, entertaining or whatever people say.
I guess. And I want to help Lipito, ne? Lipito is an egomaniac coach. He speaks his mind, but you will never hear him say anything bad about his players.
That's the first people he gets online. Yeah, on board.
Yeah. Now he's supposed to be like a Pepe in terms of like humble doing so but he doesn't. He manages players well and he creates superstars. Yo, my guy, I'm sort of like, why you doing a Sanders fan? I'm supporters. An example. Mara, on the other hand, Steve Compelle has always been that guy. He's a good player. He's likable. Everyone likes him. Ne? Mara, he has never really like coached superstars.
They struggled at a superstar team.
Yeah, he struggles. Yeah, now he's like perfect example. Yeah, Steve Compelle, Mauricio Pochettino. Mofe Tottenham team, he will flourish. Miseko PSG wapallo, Miseko Chelsea wapallo. Because I hate what I say. So man, some managers are just born to be managers. See, and some are just unjust. But now you can club what happened. You know how money left, I get. Yeah, apparently it was a money thing.
Yeah. But also there was a lot of other things. It looked like something else.
Like what?
No, not today's show.
Or something else I wanna. Give us a snippet, like
no, they chose. You know when there's a choice. So apparently Liverpool had a choice between Salah and Mane, and the situation wasn't massaged in a way that, like, hey, my guy, it is what it is. It's more like, this is the guy we're going with. Torna Aroboni like that. And I think that's why he was a little bit more angrier.
Yeah, which is true. Lena would have been angry, Amara. It also goes to the owners. The owners could have easily given them an equal reason. But on the other hand, as a player, you have to choose. Man is fantastic, but who's the face of Liverpool? Who gives in more to Liverpool? In this case, as much as I love my money, Salah. So that's proper management. The choice was made for him in the aspect they didn't want to increase the wages.
And they moved quickly. That's the other part.
Yeah.
It's streets. Is this streets? I'm seeing a number here, but then I don't know if it's streets. Okay, no, it's fine. No, guys, I think I'm gonna close it there.
Okay.
Member shows, guys. Member shows are nice. You see, we it's a lot more free flowing. If you want to form part of this, and also have access to our WhatsApp group, where actually a lot of these discussions happen a bit more deeply. It is available on YouTube. Go on to my YouTube, the Overthinking Football Show, and on that YouTube channel, you can join. There's a button that says join. Then you can join one of the memberships. And the cheapest one is 20 Rand. There's also 60 Rand, 160. And you'll have access to the WhatsApp group and access to these shows. There are going to be more in the future where we make it more contributor specific. As you see on TikTok and on Facebook and on YouTube, you can't even comment if you're not a contributor. But otherwise, guys, join me tomorrow for the Pirates match, and then we'll do the normal show Monday to Thursday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and then Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. That's where everybody can jump in. We can all do comments on all of that stuff. But the WhatsApp group and also member exclusive shows only available for those who join and contribute on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for joining me. What a very nice chat. I'll see you guys then tomorrow for the Paris match. Remember, if you want to watch any of the episodes back, they are available on Facebook and on YouTube. Bye, guys.